We went to a psychiatrist. They wanted to put him at 8 years old on like 7 different medicines.
When do you feel like you first noticed that things were harder than they were supposed to be?
The outside looking in, it's like, you don't have any control over your kid. And it's like, well, I'm trying to have control. I just don't know how to help him.
So as you were seeing him struggle and as you were experiencing those really tough moments, how was that affecting your relationship with him and then also all of the relationships within your family?
It was a struggle. It was a real struggle there for a little bit.
You know, talking about judgments, and it's like, parents don't need more judgment. They need answers.
I remember one time we were in Walmart getting groceries and someone told me if I can't control my kid, I shouldn't be in public. I'm not trying to not control him. I'm gonna get emotional.
So many opportunities to be in so many rooms with so many parents, and you know, no matter what kind of parenting style they have, they all have one thing in common, and it's they want their kids to thrive. And whether that's confidence, happiness, and just sometimes, no matter how hard you try, there's just something that's just like, it's just not clicking, and it's like, what am I missing? Here's what you're missing. I'm Billy.
I'm Isaac.
And I'm Kristen.
And I am with one of those parents today, right here, who wants their kid just to thrive, right?
Yes, 100%.
Tell us about him.
Coton is 13. He is a very active boy. He loves baseball. He loves hunting. He loves fishing, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, all the things outside. He loves to do it. He loves big. He's got a soft heart. He's kind. And we just had some struggles.
So tell us, thinking back, when do you feel like you first noticed that things were harder than they were supposed to be?
He was probably about 7 or 8. He was having trouble really like controlling his emotions and like expressing himself. Like when he got mad all over. It wasn't just like a kind of mad. And his dad was deployed one time, and he got super upset with me because we had got off the phone with his dad, and he wanted to talk to his dad more. So he got mad, went and grabbed an Xbox remote and threw it at me. And that was the moment that it was like, okay, I got to figure out something else because this is not working.
Yeah.
And, as every parent lays in bed at night and the house is quiet, everybody's asleep, and you just, for some reason, you can't get to sleep. What is that is running through your head?
There's a lot of tears involved in it because you're worried about, is your kid going to be successful? Is he going to have confidence? Is he going to do the things that a lot of people find super simple, like make friends? Is that going to be something that he's going to be capable of doing? And you also have the other part of it of our parents judging you, because a lot of times you feel judged by other parents when they look, the outside looking in, it's like, you don't have any control over your kid. And it's like, well, I'm trying to have control. I just don't know how to help him. And so there was a lot of nights where I just stayed up just praying that we'd find an answer to get him help.
So as you were seeing him struggle and as you were experiencing those really tough moments, how was that affecting your relationship with him and then also all of the relationships within your family?
It was a struggle. It was a real struggle there for a little bit because we were trying to help him, but we didn't have the tools at our disposal, and we didn't know how to help him. And we tried the old school stuff of timeouts and redirection and all the things, and it just nothing worked. And so we just got to the point to where it was like, we gotta figure something out. And we got to where all of us, like everybody in the house, was looking for patterns to see if there were certain things that maybe caused it to be worse than others. And we were all just kind of on pins and needles there for a long time.
So you mentioned everything you guys tried inside your house. What about outside resources? What other things do you feel like you had tried up to that point?
We went to a psychiatrist and had him tested. They wanted to put him at 8 years old on like 7 different medicines, and they wanted to put him in a bunch of different therapies. And I got to researching the medicines that they wanted him on, and the side effects of those were not something that I was willing to put my 8-year-old through. And so then I started looking for like all natural ways and holistic ways. And I ran across brain balance, and I was like, well, it's no harm in trying it. So let's at least go try that. And that's not putting him in a situation to where he's going to be numb to emotions or feelings because of medicine.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard you say a while ago is, talking about judgments. And it's like, parents don't need more judgment. They need answers, And it's like the behavior was the signal, right? Like, but I know, that feeling of judgment, and you got it.
Yeah.
And how did that feel?
Oh, it was awful. I remember one time we were in Walmart getting groceries, and someone told me if I can't control my kid, I shouldn't be in public. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm not trying to not control him. I'm going to get emotional.
No, that's your
hard.
baby.
Yeah.
That's your baby.
It was rough, but we finally got our appointment with Brain Balance, and Brain Balance changed our lives. I know it's not supposed to be an ad, but boy.
No,
that was a tough experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What, I know this is something too that every parent says, oh, they'll just grow out of that. They'll just grow out of it. Did you say that? And then you're like, when does this happen? When does he grow out of it?
Yeah, I thought that. I thought that for a little bit, and then it just got to the point to where it was like you could just tell that something wasn't clicking with Colton. And so me and my husband sat down and we talked and we prayed about it, and we just felt like we had to at least give this a chance to see if it would work. It seemed crazy. The exercises that y'all wanted him to do seemed like, I don't see how that's going to fix anything, but boy, it sure did.
Seems crazy until you see the results,
yes,
right?
100%.
Yeah. So we're going to get to this in a minute, but knowing what you know now and seeing the changes that you've seen in your son and your family now, if you could go back and tell yourself when you were a mom in Walmart getting judged and questioning yourself, every night, am I doing it? What's wrong? What would you, who you are now and what you know now, tell you as a younger mom at that moment? What would you go back and tell yourself?
I would probably say that even though it feels hopeless, hope's not gone. Mm-hmm. There's still a light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. We have a saying in our family that it's from the Bible. It's this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been our family motto ever since we kind of discovered this with Colton. Was it's not a disability. It's a fun ability. We just got to figure out how to work it, and we got to figure out how to make life work with it. Mm-hmm. Life doesn't stop because it's hard. Mm-hmm. And that we just got to keep going. We got to keep pushing forward.
That's amazing.
So I'm sure there was a lot of different factors, but what do you feel like was the moment that made you decide to go ahead and take the next step and move forward?
With Brain Balance?
Yeah.
It was probably, honestly, we had our meeting the first time, and it was just, we went home and we prayed about it. I ended up calling some friends, and they had put their kid through Brain Balance, and they were like, 100%, if you can do it right now, do it as fast as you can. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And it was a person that I trusted. It was a person that I love. And I was like, okay, if you trusted your kid to go through it and it made that big of a difference with yours, then 100%, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it 100%. Mm-hmm. And we did it. And it's been the best decision we ever made.
Yeah.
I love it. And once you made that decision, this is one of my favorite things about Brain Balance. What is one of the very first changes that you saw?
Oh my goodness. It was when he, oh, I'm excited. It was when he, we were having a moment and him and his brother were fussing and they were not getting along at all. And in the past, when that would happen, he would just almost just like rage out. And his brother had been pestering him and he just stopped and he goes, I need a moment. I'm getting very frustrated. Can I please have 5 minutes alone? And I was like, absolutely, you sure can. Go sit in your room, do what you need to do. He came back out in about 5 minutes and he goes, I see that I probably shouldn't have gotten upset over that. We were both playing, but I'm okay now. And I was like, okay, great.
That is awesome.
So I also love, when that happened, did you think, oh my goodness, this is crazy, it's never happened? Could it be brain balance? Or did you think, this is crazy, it's never happened, it's absolutely brain balance?
It was, oh my goodness, I can't believe that just happened. Brain balance fixed it. That was my exact thought.
Yeah, well, I love it because sometimes when parents first see the very first change, it's this strange moment of like, wait a second, was this brain balance or would this have happened, right? Because when we see the change, it's something that would have naturally happened in a typically developing kiddo. And so it's at the beginning, it's a little bit like, wait, where does the credit go?
Yeah.
But I think for you probably had a strong enough pattern beforehand to see the change in pattern and know.
Yep. And after that, it was our entire family started doing this. And like,
I do this all the time.
Yes, like even
wait.
to this day, like if we get frustrated or irritated, I'll even see my 16-year-old being like, I'm like,
If you
hey,
know,
it
you know,
works.
right?
If you know, you know.
Just to piggyback on that just for a second, how quickly into the program was it that you started seeing those changes?
I started seeing little things probably within the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I saw the big change probably by the first month that we were there.
Yeah.
It was great.
So let's even go back. What were some of the things that Colton was diagnosed with?
He was diagnosed with ADHD, general anxiety disorder, depression at 8, and they tested him for autism, and he was 1 point shy of being called autism, I guess. And so the main ones were ADHD, anxiety, and depression. It was like 20 pages of a diagnosis.
And those things don't show up like anxiety. You're anxious. It shows up in,
As anger.
Yeah.
A lot of times with Colton, a lot of his anxiety was just coming across as angry. And I think a lot of it,
Go ahead.
And I think a lot of it was, his dad deploys. His dad's in the military, and so that's something you kind of gotta learn to be resilient with. And he did really well until like he was about 8, but I think that was when he fully started understanding the concept of time and that dad wasn't just popping back home tonight. It was going to be a little bit before dad got home. And so I think a lot of that played a big part into it, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what was that thing that, and you know, we've talked about a little bit of them, but what was that thing that you came home and you're like, I have hope? You just had that, like you said earlier, a light at the end of the tunnel. You saw it right here. What was that moment?
It was probably when he really started like consistently pausing before he had a big reaction. Because in the past it was just mad, explosion, upset, explosion, irritated, explosion, sad, explosion. And then all of a sudden it got to where it was like, it was to the point to where like me and my husband and my older son, it would be like if we knew something was going to set him off, we would all kind of just like brace for impact and just be like, ugh. And about a month into it, there were situations where it was like we were all kind of looking at each other and Colton was just like, what? Like, I'm okay. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yay.
Because, a lot of times it's not that, and it's not that we're dealing with a bad kid. We're dealing with a kid that is struggling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's a great kid. He's a smart kid. He's a kind kid. And a lot of people don't see that side of him because they just see the big emotions and they confuse it with a tantrum. It's not a tantrum. It's an overwhelming amount of emotions that they don't know how to process. And I just wish more people understood the difference between overwhelmed with big emotions versus a tantrum. We're not just throwing a tantrum because we're mad. We're having a big reaction because we don't know how to process what's going on in our body or what's going on in our brain.
What you're really missing, right? That's it. That's the stuff right there.
So let me ask you this. If you're thinking about Colton now, what strengths do you feel like you see in him now that weren't as evident or able to show themselves back before our time together?
A lot of his strengths now are that he can actually verbalize the emotions that he's feeling. He makes friends really well. He likes to joke. He likes to play. And before, he was very reserved. He was very soft-spoken. He was kind of nervous about how people would react because that was a struggle too. You know, at school, people are mean to you when you act a little different. And now he thrives everywhere he goes. He makes friends with, he don't know a stranger no more. He'll talk to anybody. Those are probably the biggest strengths that he's gotten so far.
Love that. And that kind of led me into my next question a little bit. I mean, you know, what does Colton think about himself now that he believes, you know, that he can do now that may be something that he couldn't do, you know?
Oh my goodness, his confidence is through the roof. Like he just walks around with his shoulders back and his head up like he can conquer the world. And
There's
that
gotta
was
be no
not
better feeling than that,
No,
right? As a
no.
mom. I mean, that's what we just talked about at the beginning of the episode, right? I mean, that's what every parent wants from their kid is confidence, happiness. Man, love it. All right, so here's the deal. So the beauty of social media, this video is going to be out there. It's going to be in the world and for a long, long time. So you got a chance right now when Colton, how old is Colton now?
He's 13.
He's 13. Let's say Colton is 23 years old and he comes across this video and he sees his mom on the podcast and he's like, dang, I just made an impact on the world. But what is my mom going to say in this moment right now about me? What do you want to say to Colton 10 years from now?
Okay, I gotta get my notes out.
Absolutely.
Okay. And this one's gonna make me emotional, so I just feel like I should prepare. I would probably tell him that a diagnosis does not determine your destiny or your worth. How you learn doesn't determine how smart you are. Your destiny and your worth was created for you by God. Before you even entered this world, I would tell him, don't let anybody tell him that he's not capable of anything because he's living proof that with God all things are possible. We've lived it, we've proved it. You don't suffer from your diagnosis. It's just a part of your life experience. And I would tell him that me and his dad and his brother are so proud of how far he's come and all the hard work that he's put into it, and that we just love him very much.
Ooh, man. You're getting me emotional. I see, Kristen, I mean, that's powerful. That is powerful, and that's the literal power of brain balance. I mean, it really is. It does sum it up. And Isaac, Kristen, you guys want to feed off of anything of that?
For me, one last question. If there was a parent out there that they're in the same place you were in, wondering, should we do this? Should we not? Have the concerns, the time, the money, just the investment, the hope. Can we put our hope into trying this next thing? They're in the same place you were. What message would you want to hear if someone was speaking to you in that place now?
I would tell them, don't give up hope. You are your advocate for your kid. a lot of these kids that struggle with the same things that Colton did, they didn't have a voice. And so I had to decide a long time ago that I was going to be his voice. I was going to stand up for him. I was going to get him the help he needed. The way we looked at it when it came to the money aspect of it was, I'm going to pay that much money in medicine anyway. I might as well do something for him that gets to the root cause and doesn't just mask it. And so I would tell him that if you're kind of on the edge about it, to just take that leap of faith and just do it, because it's honestly the best thing that I ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get emotional too. One, because this is why we do what we do, but also my own kids went through it, and I also saw huge impacts in our family. And so when I hear you talk about how it impacted your family, it just brings about my own experience and my own emotions, and you know, parent to parent, like Billy talked about at the beginning, like this is what we all want. We don't want to have struggling kids. we don't want to have our kids that have all of these amazing strengths that don't play out in the real world because of these other things holding them back. So anything that we can do to grow and mature and develop and connect them so that the strengths can shine and they can be truly who they were designed to be, it is emotional, because ultimately that is our greatest calling as a parent, right? So it's exciting, it's emotional. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your story. Seriously, on behalf of Isaac, Kristen, myself, Brain Balance, thank you very much, Tasha. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wow.